so going into tomorrow, we have CPI, right? The Consumer Price Index. Um, Again, like I mentioned before with news, I'm looking for CPI to speed up price, to make price ramp, of course, in a certain direction. But for me, it's based off of market structure and seeing the continuation of what we've been watching. Right, this just this nasty downtrend where we're taking out stops on both sides. Right, we're taking out highs and we're taking out lows on the way down. Kind of leaves for a very un, a very uncertain day, right? Our day trade is going to be a little harder because we are coming to a key level here. So if you guys know what this is here, sorry, what this is here, this is Trump winning the election. This right here, let me get rid of this, sorry. This right here is Trump winning the election. This is Trump winning, Trump, after he won. And then the pullback, right, by the dip scenario, and then everything that ramped up after Trump won the election, it looks like we're starting to give it all back. We're creating these really long downtrend candles. Like we have this small day that was a short down close day, but then we have this big down close day, right? Couple up close days, multiple down close. Now we have two, right? And then more down close, right? So it's possible that we do what? We continue to fail to take the highs that are being created and attempt to take the lows and continue lower and lower and lower to where? To this accumulation or to this range here, which is Trump getting elected. So we'll go to the 1 day and we'll do what we always do. We'll map out the daily candle as a Pediarite, the previous day candle, right? We're going to map this bad boy out as a Pediarite going into tomorrow. And then we'll look for reasons to stay bearish. I am very bearish unless we see that daily fair value gap, right? I want to see us trade back into that daily fair value gap, the one that we tapped into today, that we anticipated we would either be bullish above the 50% or bearish below it, right? We failed to hit that 50% and we remained bearish. So I'm still looking for more bearish setups going into tomorrow just based off the higher time frame trend. And the news today, right, was just a big smoke screen to trap longs and to go short. So if we go to the 4 hour, what are we going to do? We're going to look for reasons to stay short. Why do we think the market is going to continue its downtrend, right? What is going to stop us from going higher? What and where? Is it going to be a higher time frame imbalance? Is it going to be a higher time frame inefficiency, right? Is it going to be a weekly open, a daily open, right? Is it what's going to keep us from going higher? We attempted to do what here was shift the market, right? This is your market structure shift, your break of structure to the upside. And then this one, right? This specific one here, actually, this one was the big one that we wanted to break. If we broke this, we would have broken what? The 50% of that daily, and we would have traded higher, and we would have created the highest or the higher time frame market structure shift, right? Because we have our low here, our lowest point, and then we have sorry, let me go back because none of this was actually created yet. We have our low and then our lowest point, and then we were looking for price to what? To break. And we were looking for this up here to be our lowest point. We were looking for the market to shift and create a bullish order flow on the 4 hour or on the daily, right? Which would be to break that daily fair value gap and use it as support to go higher. Looking at these two big wicks, are letting me know two things, right? One of them we already know there was news, but they're letting me know two things. It's letting me know that it's dropping down and it's reaching for liquidity to do what? To attempt to go higher. I think we're going to fill these wicks tonight, and it's going to be possible that we do not break the wicks. We take these low out, right? We take out the low a day, as external liquidity, right? We're going to leave this here as external, and we pop our little head out, fail to take this, and start trading back up to equilibrium. That's what I think is going to happen tonight, but we're going to look for more reasons to stay bearish during New York and more importantly during London, right? While we're all asleep. What do we think it's possible to hit while we're over here snoozing off? So if we look at how the trend was being created, and if you guys remember me talking about when we have a nice downtrend, normally when there's like a candle or two, right? There, that is an order block. That is a lot of selling or buying that took place but couldn't hold, right? So there's one there, and then there's still this big bad boy here. So that daily, right, was up here at 121. This 4-hour fair value gap, we're going to get rid of this top one. This 4-hour fair value gap is actually holding still. And we talked about this 4-hour fair value gap back on Monday, right? On Monday, we ended up tapping it, and then we ended up trading lower. We came back up, but we failed to fill what? The 50% of this order block that was created. We had our downtrend, or our series, sorry, we had our series of down close candles, but then we also have this one up close candle that's just kind of sticking its little head out, kind of telling you like, hey guys, this is a possible rejection area. And the reason why is because this price action here is balanced. This is one direction. Here we have down, up, down, right? And then we continued lower. So this is an imbalance here, and this is also an imbalance, right? Underneath this, above this is balanced, right? Because we have trading on both sides, trading on both sides. Trading is one-sided. Now we've filled the imbalance, and we've dropped, and we've yet to do what? We've yet to fill this imbalance here that we created on the way up. These wicks, right, are just to damage price, or they're just to cause a ruckus. There's no body in this, which leaves all of this as an imbalance. That's why like I said earlier, I believe we're coming down for these lows so that we can have candle bodies closing and creating this as a balanced range. So we're going to use the 4-hour order block that we had up because it's still being it's still holding, it's still protecting this market structure shift up here. It's still protecting this high right here, right? This is protected by what? This high up here is protected by the 50%. And almost to the T, right? When we came back up, we tapped that 50% of that order block, and then we just gave it all back, right? So in order to have a candle look like this, we ended up opening, right? And then we dropped. Then we went higher, and then we closed. This one, right? We opened, we went high, dropped, came back up, closed, right? So these candles, right, are just damaging. Like I said, they're just damaging price. So reason to stay bearish or a reason to flip to bullish, 50% of what? Of this order block. If we trade above this, we'll be trading above what? The equilibrium of the previous day's range, which can hold as support to finally attack this and go higher. This would be a scenario to go higher. What would be a scenario to go lower? I would like to see us just drop. Like midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock, just dump. That's what I would like to see. What I have for my scenarios is, right, is we're going to come up and we're going to test this 50% and drop lower. We're going to continue higher, or like I said, the other scenario whereas we fail to trade above equilibrium and we fall short into this external range right here. So I don't really need to look for another reason to have price be bearish. Normally we go to the 1 hour and we look for something to keep price from rising, but we already have something equilibrium, 50%. And it is possible to come up and soup this, failing to take or failing to trade inside of our orb, But I honestly think that we will not even make it to the highs and we will just end up going lower. That's what I think is going to happen. The scenarios that I have plotted are we come up and we trade into the 4-hour order block that we identified, and we come down and attack previous day low. That's one. Our next scenario is we come up and we take the order block, flipping bullish and taking all the liquidity that's up here, right, from previous day high, and using it as support to go even higher to do what? To attack that market structure shift that it looked like we were trying to get today with the news candle. And then the other scenario, which I would like to happen, would be London, right? When London opens, London fails. London fails to take out Asia. London fails to hit equilibrium. So when London opens, it gives us this. Obviously, it's going to be structured, right? But that's what I would like to see going into tonight. It's just fail to take Asia high and then continue its downtrend. These are the three scenarios I got. If you guys don't have any questions, pretty straightforward. That 4-hour order block has to hold for us because it is the inefficiency that's holding us back. It helped hold us back today on top of the daily fair value gap that we had mapped out yesterday. Oh yeah, inauguration's coming up. I'm going to go ahead and stop the